Hello everyone, and this is Venu. I am a freelance technical trainer. So in this session, I am going to teach about the control structure. So what are the various control structures we have? Okay, we have three different type of control structures are there. So we have here uh, three different type of control structures. The first one is these three are belongs to the conditional type control structure, and this is unconditional control structure, and third one is unconditional uncontrolled type. And let us see the all this concept here. So the first one, actually, what is the definition of control structures here? The control structures definition is what is the need of control structures? Here using control structures we can execute the statement repeatedly. Okay, so in the case of control flow statement, we are executing only one statement at a time. We are not executing the statement repeatedly multiple times. That is not possible with the control flow statements, but it is possible to execute multiple times with the control structures. Okay, then see, and control here also it represents what flow of execution. Control is nothing but it is a flow of execution. Okay, and control structures during the execution time they form a loop here. So actually what is meant by loop is it's nothing but it is a part of code of the program, and that is executed repeatedly. So it is nothing but it is a part of the program, and it is executed repeatedly. So basically if you see the loop here, it uses condition and the repetition. Okay, the repetition is done until the condition will become false. And the types of control structures here, these three types control structures. First one is conditional control structure. Example is for while, do while. Unconditional type, break and continue. Unconditional uncontrolled, go to labels. Okay, so these are the three types of control structures. Mm. And let us see first of all this while, do while, conditional control structures first of all, and after then remaining we will see unconditional and unconditional uncontrolled type also. So coming to the first one, while. So what is while actually? While is it is a loop. While is the loop. Okay, and the expression is evaluated. If it is true, then the statements are in the body of the loop are executed. Okay, and after execution, again expression is evaluated, and if it is found true, the same statements are executed. Otherwise, the cursor is come out from the loop here. Okay, the syntax of while is this: while followed by some condition, and it uses open and close braces. Inside this some statements are there. Okay, you can also take like this: while condition and statements. And if you see the flow chart here, so diamond symbol is used for representing condition. Once if the condition is true, the statements are executed. Okay, and otherwise, okay, once if condition will be false here, it is coming from the loop. So like this it will form the loop here. Once if it is executed, again it will verify the condition. Like that it will form the loop. Okay, and now, so after this I want to give the example of this while. I want to give the example. Okay, so now my intention is that I want to print some 1 to n numbers. So I'm reading here n, printf, enter the n value. Next, scanf percentage d ampersand of n. Okay, so here while n not equal to 0, I'm writing here first of all, Otherwise, so my intention is that I want to print 1 to n number, so that is why I need to take a variable called I. So first I am initializing here I with 1, and I am using the condition if I is less than or equal to this n. If this condition is true, then I have to print the I value. I'm printing the I value. After then I have to increment the I value. So now how it will executed here? Now the program is executed. So first of all I am reading some n. We are assuming some 5. Now I will be 1. 1 less than or equal to 5 true. It will print first time 1. And after then I will be 2. Again for the value of 2, it is verifying 2 less than or equal to 5. Yes, it is true means 2 will be printed. Then it is 3. 3 less than or equal to 5. Then it will print 3. 4. And 4 less than or equal to 5. It will print 4. Next to 5. 5 less than or equal to 5. Print to 5. Next I will be 6. And 6 less than or equal to 5 means it is failure. So now cursor is come out from the loop. So for all the iterations here, every time the value of I is updated. So if I will be true, if the value of I is true, if this expression is true, only statements are executed, otherwise it is terminated. Okay, and now let us see the execution here. So I'm giving 5, then it will display 1 2 3 4 5 values here. It will display 1 2 3 4 5 values. So if I'm giving I will be 10, then it will display here 1 to 10 numbers. I'm giving 10, and it will display 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, so now why while statement is it's form the loop here. So once if condition is verified, it is true, this statement is are executed. Again it is verify the condition, then if it is true means it will form the loop. It will form the loop. Okay, and once if it is finished here, so coming to the do while, coming to the do while, so actually maybe it is for loop. Okay, correct anyway. Now coming to the do while, so do while is, so in the case of do while, the syntax is first do keyword and following some statements, and after then after do block write while and write the condition, at the end semicolon is used. So how it will work? First of all, in the case of do while, it won't verify any condition here. The statements inside the do block are executed. Once if for the first time, this after execution of this statement, so next onwards condition is verified. If this condition is true, it will form the loop. If it is true, form the loop. Otherwise, it is terminated. Then see the your flow chart. So first value is initialized, then okay condition is one value is first for the first time the body the value is initialized here. After then the statements inside the loop will be executed, and next the value is updated, and for the updating value it is verifying. So if it is true, okay, and if it is true it can perform the same action, otherwise it is exit. That's okay. Now in the case of do while is it is called exit level verifier. Why? So for the first time, for the first cycle, it won't verify any condition. From the second cycle onwards, the condition is verified. So that is why during the execution time, during the exit time, the condition is verified. So that is why it is exit verifier, exit verifier, or exit level checker also we can call. So now here first the loop body is executed, then expression is evaluated, and then the expression is true, then again the loop body is executed, and this process is continuous as long as expression is true. Otherwise, okay, it is the cursor is come out from the loop here. Okay. So for the same program, I have to display here. I have to print 1 to n some even numbers by using do while. So how I write? Mm, so here first of all, I am reading the n and I am taking I value will be 1. So inside the do black, okay, inside the do black. So I'm printing 1 to n numbers, even numbers. So that is why. So first of all, if your I is divisible by 2, then only that is even number. So that is why if it is divisible, then I am printing the I. That's all. After then I am incrementing the I value. Okay. And now once, okay. So once after incrementing here, okay. First it is verifying the value here. If one I percentage of 2 means 1 percentage of 2 equal to 0, then only display. Otherwise, I will be incremented. And at the end, use your while followed by semicolon. I less than or equal to up to n. We are using the condition here. The value of I, it must be, the loop will be iterated until the value of I will become n. Okay, now I compile the code here. If I am giving suppose 10, then I am getting all the even numbers here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I will get. Okay. So now this is the example of a do while. See what I am doing here. Just first of all, okay, I am executing this here. I am executing this, and after then condition is verified. So I don't want to print even numbers. I want to print only the 1 to n numbers. Then remove this. So for the first time, I will be 1. So it is without verifying any conditions. So 1 will be printed. Next I is 2. And again 2 less than or equal to some n is suppose we are assuming 5. It is true. Then it will form the loop. Next 2 will. Next 2 less than or equal to 5. Yes. Then 3, 4, 5 like this. You will get 1 to 5 values. So I'm giving 5, then 1 to 5. Okay. And once if do while is finished here, the next one is the for loop. In the case of for loop, the syntax is for followed by some initialization and the condition and some increment. Okay, some increment. Hmm. So now once, okay. So in the case of for loop here, so we have to use here two semicolons, and first value is initialized. Second one, the condition is verified. If it is true, statements are executed. And after then again the value is updated, then condition is verified. If it is true, statements are executed. So like this, the for loop is work. Okay. So let us see the flow chart here. Value is initialized, condition is verified. Okay. And if this condition is true, the body inside the loop are executed. And after then it is a value I incremented or decremented or a value is updated. And again, for the updating value, it can verify the condition. It is true again, it will form the loop that it is continuously execute the statements here. Okay. Then I have to give the example for the for loop. Okay. So now here, so I want to print 1 to n numbers by using for loop. So I equal to 1 first, I'm writing the condition I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. Okay. So I'm using only one statement. So that is why I don't want to use any flower braces. That's okay. So how it will perform first? Let us see the execution. I'm giving 6 here, so you will get 1 to 6 members. 1 to 6 members. Okay. Now in this scenario, so how it will executed first? If I am giving any 6 means first I value will be 1. 1 less than or equal 6 is true, then it will print the 1. After then value is 2, 2 less than or equal 6, then it will print 2. Next 3, 3 less than or equal to 6, print 3. Next 4, 5, 6, and I will be 7. 7 less than or equal 6 means fail. Fail means cursor is come out from the for, for loop here. Like so, this is the statement of for loop here. After the for loop statement here, cursor is reached. So that is why you will get only 1 to 6 members. Okay. So when I value will be 7, 7 less than or equal 6, fail. Okay. And next, and once after finishing this for loop here, so what is the difference of all these three control structures here when we use while and when we use for loop and when we use do while? This is the important point. So while means if we don't know the exact number of iterations, hmm, we don't know the exact number of iterations, at that scenario while loop is preferred. And do while, so if you want to do the operations like menu driven type representations, menu driven representations. Hmm. So do while is menu driven type representations. And for loop, when we use for loop here, if we know the exact number of iterations, so when we know the exact number of iterations here, at that time the for loop is used. The for loop is used. And now, so these are the differences of three mm, types here. The conditional control structure types here, while, do while. So efficiently, where efficiently we use while means basically all the three are control structures. Control structure means they are perform the same operation, but especially while, especially here, the efficient uses of while is this scenario. The efficient use of do while is this. The efficient use of for loop is this. Okay. And of course here, sir, if suppose I want to print 1 to n numbers, so by these three ways we can print 1 to n numbers, which is the efficient one. So generally we know the exact number of iterations, so that is why for loop is the efficient one. Okay. So from application to application, requirement to requirement, we can use any one of them, these three. Okay. Now after this, the next one is break. Break, and break is one of the control structure here. So what is break? Break statement terminate the loop immediately when it is occur, when it is encountered. So that means what? So when break statement is it is cursor is reached to the break means it is immediately terminated from the loop. Okay. And generally where we use break here, inside the switch block or inside the loops here. Okay, inside any loops you can use. Oh, and let us see the example of break. Okay, here what I am doing, if suppose if I will be equal to if I will be equal to some 4 I am writing, and I don't want this arrayn value, so that is why I don't want to read this. And just I am taking I less than or equal to some 10 I am taking it. So now when I will be equal to 4, So I'm using here break. Okay. Now otherwise I have to print the value. Now tell me what is the output of this. So first time I is 1, first time I will be 1, and 1 less than or equal 10 true. If it is true, then again cursor is going to the inside the loop. Is it 1 equal to 4? No, that is why it is not terminated. Then it will print I. It will print I means it will print 1. Okay, so now it will print 1, and after then again I will be incremented by, so next 2, 2 less than or equal 10, and is it 2 equal to 4? No, so that is why it is 2 equal to 4. No means what? 2 will be printed, like it will print 1 2 3. When I will be 4 means what? Is it 4 equal to 4? Then immediately 4 is equal to 4. 4 equal to 4, condition true, then the break is encountered. That means what? Immediately cursor is come out from this for loop. That is why the output is 1 2 3 only. So output is 1 2 3. Okay, and what about next type of control structure? The next type is continue here. What is continue? What is continue? Continue means it skip the current iteration and continue with the next iteration here. So the continue is skip the current iteration and continue with the next iterations. So I want to give the example here. So just I am replacing it with some continue. If I am replacing it's with continue, and then see how to get the output here. See, continue means it. If suppose when I will be 4 means it skip the current the iteration fourth one, and remaining it will be executed as transfer. See, first I is 1, so I will be 1. I is 1, and 1 less than or equal to 10 true. Is it 1 equal to 4? No. Then it will print 1. Next 2, 2 less than or equal to 10. Is it 2 equal to 4? No, 2 will be print. 3, 3, no. So 4. Is it 4 equal to 4? Then immediately this is excluded. It is excluded means cursor is reached to here. Then high value will be what? 5. But it skip the remaining statement here. So indirectly continue means what? Continue with the next iteration means after this the statements after the continue are not excluded. So that is why it will print 1 2 3 without printing 4, and 5 to 10 will come here. That means what? Except 4, remaining 1 to 10 values will come. Okay, so now there is no 4, and remaining values will come, 1 to 10 values will come. Okay, so this is about here continue. Now after finishing continue here, the next type of control structure is go to. So what is go to here? Go to is it acts like a branching statement and a looping statement, and generally go to is called jumping statements. We are called go to can also called. So go to is divided into two types. One is forward labeling and another one is backward labeling. Forward labeling means first we need to call the label, and later we can write its definition. Okay, and backward label means first we are writing the body of the label, and after then later we are calling. That means it is backward and it is forward. Okay, so now forward means first we are calling, later we are writing its definition. It is forward. Backward means first we are writing the body and later we are calling. That is called backward here. So now backward represents here. Backward represents here the looping statement. Okay, and this forward represents here. The forward represents this branching statement. Let us see the example of that. So I'm giving here printf some statement. After then, generally, so I'm displaying these two, the all these three information. But instead of all the three, I want to skip this here. So that is why what I'm doing, after printing this here, immediately I'm calling the label. Then this cursor is reached to the label, then immediately this statement is executed. So now we are skipping. So we are skipping some statement means, so now it is branching statement here. So in this case, go to is acts like an branching statement. Let us see the example. So I'm writing printf. So I'm writing here and this information. Okay. So now in this case here, so if I'm excluding this here, if suppose if I'm excluding this, so I can it will display all the information, like each and every information, the text inside the printf will be displayed, but I need to skip this statement. So that is why after printing the first two statements, I'm calling the label, and I can write the definition body of the label after the I. Then what happened here? So first it will, the C program, the execution of C starts from main section onwards. It will execute it first two statement, and after reaching this here immediately, okay, so we are calling the label, that means cursor is passed to here. Now it will after reaching this here, the next line is 10th line, then it will display only the three statements. Okay, so now you will get this, you will get only these three statements. Okay, but so actually there is a problem with while this go to here. Here actually C is it is a modular programming language. It is a structure oriented programming language. That means execution of execution of program by line here. But using goto, we can violate the rules of C programming language. So that is why it is unconditional and uncontrolled. Okay, so the possibilities, there is a chance of going into the infinite loop if you are using goto. Okay, so while we are working with the goto, so be careful to use goto inside the C program here. Okay, and what is the second one here? So in the second one, so just I'm right, I'm telling that it is an example of looping statement. Looping statement means first of all I'm initializing I is 1. So after then I'm writing the label definition, I'm printing the I, increment the I. So if I value is less than or equal to 10, I'm calling the label. Okay, so that means here we are printing the 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, here we are printing some 1 to 10 numbers. That means it will form the loop here, it will form the loop. Let us see first, I'm taking some I. Okay, and I is initialized with some 1. So I'm taking some label. Here I'm printing some I value. Okay, so after then I can increment the I value. Now after incrementing this here, again I am verifying the condition. If I is less than or equal 10, then I am calling the label. That's okay. Then compile and run. It will display 1 to 10 numbers. Okay. So now, if suppose If the scenario, if I am not using this condition, I am commenting this, that means it may be chance of going into the infinite loop here. Okay, it will print continuously all the values here. So I have to use some proper condition, then I'm stopping the code. That's why you will get 1 to 10 numbers. So in this scenario also it formed the loop here. So that is why by using goto we can represent as a loop, and by using goto we can represent as a selective statement. Okay, so now here I am calling the label first. I am writing the label definition, I am calling the label. So that is why it is backward labeling. Backward labeling it. Okay, and once after finishing all these conditional control structures here, so this is an example of first we are calling the label, after then we are writing the definition. So it is forward. First we are writing the label definition, after then we are calling the label. So that is why it is backward labeling. Okay, now already I told. So how many types of control structures we have? Conditional control structures, unconditional, and unconditional uncontrolled structures. So all three are over. So now I want to give some special scenarios. I want to give some special scenarios. Hmm. So what are the some special cases while we are working with these control structures? So I have to explain one by one. And int I am taking. Okay. So first of all, I'm declaring a variable like int I. After then, I have to write I equal to 1 and I less than or equal to 10 and I plus plus. And after this, here I'm using printf percentage d comma I. Okay, everyone knows here if I'm executing this, it will display 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, right, correct. But suppose if I'm writing a semicolon after the for loop, what is the output I'm getting? So what I'm doing here, I'm writing the semicolon after the for loop. Here writing the semicolon after the for loop means this loop is iterated continuously. Okay, when the condition will be false, that means I will be 2, 2 less than or equal 10, like I will be 10, 10 less than or equal 10, I will be 11, 11 less than or equal 10. Okay, so what is the final value of I? 11. So now the 11 will be displayed. The 11 will be displayed. So now see the output, you will get 11. Okay, so now if we are using semicolon after the for loop, it is executed repeatedly. So finally the I value will be reached for last iteration. Okay, and next, if suppose I am using here, I'm removing this, I'm using only two semicolons. Okay, I'm taking I value initialized with some 1. So now the for loop with two semicolons, it will be always infinite loop here. For loop with two semicolon and there is no proper condition and increment means it may be a chance of going into some infinite loop here. Okay, some infinite loop will come. Okay, and once if it is finished here, so the for loop with two semicolon, but I am using proper increment and I am using proper increment. So first of all, I am printing the I. After then, I am incrementing the I value, and if uh, if if I less than or equal to, if I less than or equal to, just I am writing 10. So what I am writing here, if I value will be less than or equal to 10, then I have to terminate from the loop here. Then I am using break. Okay. Now do the execution. Sorry. So if I will be equal to 10, if I will be equal to 10, then I have to terminate it from the loop here. That means 1 to, you will get 1 to 9 numbers will come. Okay, 1 to 9 numbers will come. Okay. So otherwise, if I am giving 1 to 11, then it will display 1 to 10 numbers. 1 to 10 numbers. Okay. So in the for loop with two semicolons, the for loop with two semicolon, but increment I am using, and I am using proper condition. So I'm using proper condition. So that is why it is finite loop here. That means it is excluded the statements here. It is excluded the statement. Okay. Now this is the third uh, cases here. So for loop with two semicolons, and the first thing is what we are writing the semicolon, and next for loop with two semicolon, infinite loop. In this case, output will be 11, and I want to make this as finite here. Otherwise, you can also use this condition. If I less than or equal 10 only, we are printing and I plus plus. You can use any one of them. Then I'm converting this for loop with two semicolons, proper condition and proper increment is there. So that is why it is okay, finite. Okay. And now coming to the next one. The scenarios depends on while loop here. So if I equal to 1 and 1 less than or equal to I less than or equal to 10, print a percentage the I. So in this case, what is the drawback here? I am not incremented I value as I am not incrementing I value means always I is 1. So like this, okay, like this here, infinity number of times always here I value will be 1 only. So I value will be 1 means 1 less than or equal to 10, 1 less than or equal to 10. Like this, it will be true. Like while of true always infinite loop. So that is why you will get a infinite loop. So I am giving that also. So I am taking while I less than or equal to 10. Here I am printing percentage d some comma here. Okay. Now compile and execute the code here. You will get infinite loop. Okay, you will get infinite loop. But if I'm incrementing I plus plus means okay, it will execute. It will give 1 to 10 numbers. And now suppose if in here I'm using only one. So even though I'm incrementing I value, but I'm using one means it is the universal true. That means the condition always true. While of one means always true. So because of this here, you will get again infinite loop. Okay, infinite loop will form. Okay, while of one means the program is going into the infinite loop here. Okay. And what is another case? While we're working with the do while, here, say I'm taking I value is 1 and I'm printing first time. So do while means what? What is the difference between do while and while? So while is in the case of while first time the during the entrance time condition is verified, that is it is exit level verified, and in the case of do while the condition is verified during the exit time, that is why it is exit level verified. So first of all it will print 1, then I will be 2. Okay, anyway I will be 2, but while of 0 means what? While of this condition 0 represents false here, so that is why immediately it is terminated. So now output will be what? 1 here. Okay, it is not infinite loop here. Okay, so while of 0 means false. See, otherwise here I am giving 0, so it is not displaying any value. Why? Because it is false here. While of 0 means false. Okay. Anyway, I'm giving the example of do while also. Do, inside the do, I'm printing I value. Okay, increment the I value. And after this, I'm writing while 0 only. That's right. While 0 means first it will print 1, then I will be 2. While of 0 means false. So that is why it will print only output is only 1. So output is only 1. Okay. And this is okay. And by using this here, uh, just we are printing only one value. Okay. So this is about here. This is about the control structures in C. The control structure in C. But the thing is that, so in the next video, I will give all these programs here. I have to give all these programs. We will see the complete programs of all these here by using for loop, while, do while. Okay, and we can implement the complete code of this the programs of this with the help of control structures in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. And thank you for watching this video. And one more thing, once again I'm telling here, and do you have any queries related to this video, please okay, give me a comment, or uh, give me my mail id is also available in the video here. Please okay, mail me. So wherever you are having doubts, we will sort out. Okay, and once again, and thanks for watching this video.